What to do when bookings slow down on Turo. I don't want you to panic. I need you to listen. Stay tuned. When bookings drop, meaning that, hey, you're not getting a lot of bookings like you did in the summer, things like that, a lot of hosts panic and they see things go idle. They start doing crazy stuff, racing down to the bottom, meaning that they set their prices so low that it's not even worth renting the car out because of maintenance or other fees, or anything can happen like an accident. And in this video, we're going to talk about what you should be doing during a slowdown period, because this is going to be dealing with evaluation. This is going to be dealing with how you need to set your car up for success. There are things that you can do if you're doing this intentionally, or things that you need to undo that you may not understand that you're doing. So we're going to go off the top of the list that I have here, and I'm going to be doing this on the fly, but I want to make sure that we talk about this, right? The first thing that we're going to talk about is making sure that you do a reality check on what's going on with your listings. Always check that. If you're the person say, hey, my bookings just dropped, what is wrong? You got to look at it like this. It's not failure on your part, it's feedback from the market. The market's telling you something. This can be based off seasonal changes as we are now approaching close to Christmas time. This could be local shifts in demand. It can be economic slowdowns. Now for me, primarily, I have cars locally in Charlotte, but we also know what's going on currently in the nation. We have vehicles that are probably sitting at the airport right now because of the TSA situation, right? So if flights are not being able to be secure, people getting to their destinations, of course, people are not going to book vehicles. It's just too risky to just book a vehicle in advance. You can cancel, but they don't want to go through the headache of that, right? So that's one thing right there. You want to make sure that if you are booking your cars or getting your cars booked, you want to look at what your competitors is doing, right? That's why we talked about Turex. Link's going to be down below. Talk about Turex, about how you need to look at what everyone else is doing to see, hey, is their car booking? How often is it booking? Am I too high? What am I doing that's not matching up? Because it may not be a price thing. It may be a feature thing, and you may be able to get an easy feature in the car. It might be Apple Play in the car, or Android, or whatever it may be, to make that car match up with your competitors. So that follows on with number 2, reviewing and optimizing your listings. Now, we used to have the ability where we can just describe the vehicles, right? We can go in there and make our spiel. You don't have that ability now, so this relies on your pictures. Your pictures should tell the story. This might be the time that you need to change up your pictures. Your pictures might just be stale. People might be like, well, that picture's been there for years and years. Go ahead and get the pictures taken. Another thing that you want to do also too is, if you haven't, you want to take other pictures. You may just took pictures of the outside of the car, a little bit of inside. What about the trunk? What about the tires? All that stuff. People might want to know that. This is where you start changing up the things. One thing I will say too, if you're doing dynamic pricing, that's a thing that could hurt you or make you. My recommendation on that is not to use dynamic pricing. If you're not seeing the things going on the way you want it to, before a weekend comes in, you can dial it down by a couple of dollars. And I'm so serious about that. Now, if you're setting your stuff at $100, that car doesn't go out for $100, then you got to be realistic. We already talked about that. But when you're dialing it down to see, hey, what's the sweet spot you can, that's where Turex comes into play. Now, you want to enhance the customer experience. Now, you might say, what does that mean? If you're booking your vehicles at the airport, for example, because some people may not fly into the airport too. They may just feel comfortable picking the car up at the airport or another location. You might want to expand. You might be able to allow people to pick up a car at a hotel, at a sports venue, whatever it may be. You do have that option on Turo if you really are hurting on bookings, right? You want to update your messaging flow, meaning that if you got old stuff in there, clean it up. This is the time to clean up how your messages are being relayed. These little small touches that you can also do too. You can put disinfectant in the car, a bottle of water, thank you cards. I do all those things right there. So when someone walks into my car, they're like, this is good. I got all this fresh stuff going for me. Do that. Another thing that we could talk about here is you want to make sure you audit your fleet. Auditing your fleet means that what maintenance can you catch up on while your cars are down? Right now, My cars are intentionally down because I want to catch up on maintenance. This is tires, this is oil change, this is anything that needs to be repaired. Any small items that I can have repaired. I have my local maintenance guy, Ozzy, who can knock out some repairs for me. Anything that we need to do preventive maintenance, this is the time where you need to put your money in there. This is where you shift that mind focus. I got to get it down to how do I keep my fleet going longer. That's the way you do it. If there's GPS trackers that you got to work on, as far as up, neck, and front wheel. For me, I got Zuby in one of the vehicles. Zuby, I'm about to have a phone call with the maintenance team because they want to make sure I understand the updates and stuff that they're doing. This is a time where you want to make sure everything's optimized for your vehicles when it goes out. Additionally, don't forget about the cabin filters, the windshield wipers, windshield wiper fluid, all these little things that you don't really think about when the car is renting. Now, this is the time to think about that. Now, another strategy that Turo's now talking about, which I already told you to do, is to promote your vehicles on a classifieds on Facebook Marketplace. Let people know, because it's not always that we have to rely on Turo to promote our vehicle. When you self-promote your stuff, you can guarantee that you're going to have more eyes on it than does Turo does putting your stuff on one little scroll and that's it. With self-advertisement, you can actually put out all your content as far as the description, what the vehicle comes with, all that good stuff like that. Another thing that I will talk about is that you want to talk to your guests when they rent these cars and let them know that you have incentives for, whether that's a discount on the next rental or free gas on the next rental, whatever it got to be, for them to refer people to you, exactly to you, not Turo, but you, your URL, your business, wherever the vehicle's listing, because they can help you out. And that's free work right there, meaning that you ain't got to pay them other than these little small trinkets, right? Because what's hurting you from giving them free gas if they're going to get you 5 guests in the next month or the next 2 months or whatever? That's business running. I will tell you also this, guys, as we talk about this one that's coming up, it's called reinvesting in your learning. Now, during this downtime, you need to study the Turo analytics. You want to adjust your fleet strategy, and you can also get my book, Starting Out on Turo, and Car Share Genius if you haven't already. This is where we get smart. We start elevating. We start looking at what other people are doing. So if someone's looking at what I'm doing, it's well, I never thought about doing that way. Maybe I can do it this way. This is where you can really work on your craft. A lot of folks just think about this book. I don't need this and that, but then they don't understand how they can make this thing a long-term thing. They just think, I can just get more cars. That's the method to this madness. If you get a bunch of cars and you don't have yourself built up to handle multiple accidents, multiple repairs, you're just going to hurt yourself. You're going to bleed yourself. Something's going to happen. You also want to be studying your competition in your city. You want to see what they're doing, how they're booking, what's working for them, what's not working on them. Again, that's Turex. And this is where you start building out your own content. Once you get comfortable, once you have a system in place, a system that can allow you to do this stuff with your eyes closed, then you need to start producing. You need to start showing people how you're doing it, whether it's writing a book, dealing with affiliate marketing, e-course, all that stuff. Start doing it. This is where we start getting into the real gist of making ourselves expand with multiple streams of income. And that following up with a system to scale. You want to have a system in place. Look to do this. This is something I learned in the Navy, where we do a short-term outlook and a long-term outlook. A long-term is about 3 to 5 months, right? You want to make sure that you're looking at prices going beyond the season, right? Beyond the fall period, almost at the end of winter, to see where you stand with pricing. Because if you don't do it until the last minute, you're going to start losing money because you might have prices too low or prices too high. And if that means that you got to build out a spreadsheet to help you track these things, do it. You want to track your profits, you want to track your costs, you want to track what is booking. Is it booking because there's more home football games or a sports team? Where I'm from in Charlotte, we have football, we have baseball, we have college football, professional football, same thing with basketball, and you got surrounding cities that have similar tastes as far as sports and whatnot. Also, make sure that when you're doing these things, make sure you get your stuff in presentation mode, meaning that if you got to restock on material, well, I have air fresheners, a thank you card, all that stuff needs to be replenished. So you don't have to worry about stopping and buying this stuff every so often. My team right now is working on the process to get everything replenished, meaning that thank you cards are going to be replenished, water bottles are going to be replenished, air fresheners, all the stuff that you need to have in a car to let people know, hey, this car is ready for you. You're presenting this as if this is a diamond, the Hope Diamond. You want to polish it. And this is a trick that we learned when I worked at AT&T. When you bring out the product, you just don't be like, well, here you go, here's the phone. You're cleaning it, you acting like it's polished. This is the most precious thing in this scene right now, and that's your vehicle. And you're presenting it in that type of fashion. Now, I want to bring this up to you here. It may be a slow season for you, but when hosts start building their empires, they don't think about short term, they think about long term. Others are going to be trying to think about this instant gratification. You got to get your mind out of that, right? If you're putting in a discipline, you putting it in, day out, and you're staying focused, can't happen. It can't happen for you. So guys, I'm gonna make this short. I hope that you enjoy. My name is Luke Evan Brooks. If you haven't so far, make sure you subscribe. Usually I put that at the very beginning, but I'm putting it here at the end. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you look at the links down below. We're gonna get more into these things. And I thank you again for watching Car Share Genius. Don't forget to check starting out on Turo and Car Share Genius. Don't forget. Till then, guys, I'll see you next time. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. This is where we do everything for everyone on Car Share Genius. All right, guys. I'll see you soon.